Welcome back to Prima.Law. Right now we're going to talk about our case management board. Now this is something that we've been making additions to, and it's something that has been getting better and faster and more thorough, because the most important thing about a case management system is being able to manage the caseload. Now many law firms will actually have someone who's designated as the case manager. And if you're the case manager at your firm, or if those responsibilities fall to you, this is going to make your day. And the reason why, it's so easy. Let's take a look here. So we've clicked on the case management board, and here you can see we have a list of cases here. Now I've used a set of filters on this case already. So for example, if we click on filter here, what we are viewing is where any case, where the case type consists of the text I-130. So I want to capture all the I-130 files, period, that are in the system. Now I can refine that further, and I can say, I can add a second filter and say, all right, now show me the ones where the case open and close equals open, because I'm only interested in the open cases right now. And I could even say, I want to filter it by the ones assigned to me or to the other attorney or some other status. We're going to take that one off for now. We don't need it. But let's take a look here at the open cases that include an I-130 in the case type. All right, so I've got the list here. Now I could have the contact name. I've hidden that for now, but you can see there's many options of the columns I can include here. And what we've done is we've made this easy for you to review the current status of the case. So inside the case, you need to be keeping track of the status, the meta status, whether it's open and closed, and what the priority of the case is. Okay, so this one is more of an emergency situation. It is an open case. The meta status, which is generally the overall who are we waiting on, we're waiting on the client here. So if I'm going through my list of cases and I want to see what ones need my attention, maybe I'm going to go to the ones that say waiting on client, and I'll shoot them all a reminder. And so we're waiting on documents from them. And I can see here, despite her busy schedule, this is the information from the last call. I don't have to open the case to see that. This is an important notice. This is the last note in the case. And I have all that at my fingertips. If there's anything else I wanted to see from this case, I could look here. So I could see the primary attorney, the secondary attorney, the other paralegals assigned to it, the date it was created, the due date, the completion date that we set as a goal, forms libraries that are involved, whether the client portal is active or not. All of these things I can see right here from the case board. So let me give you a couple ideas. First of all, let's say you're starting a new week, you've got a team meeting coming up, and you want to figure out what are the cases that we need to be looking at. Okay, well, you can come here and you could go to your filters and you could say, all right, let's start with any case. Let's take off this filter. Any case that's open and where the meta status is we're waiting on the attorney or the law office. So waiting on the attorney, add a new one. It could be and meta status equals waiting on the law office. Okay, so we're either waiting on the attorney or the law office. Those are the ones that that's an and. We don't want an and here. So let's leave waiting on the attorney. That's going to filter all the cases that are open, and we're waiting on the attorney. So let's close that. And from the looks of it, okay, so now we can see that there are these cases that are waiting on the attorney. These are ready for attorney review, working on reviewers' corrections under case review. Okay, so we can see some of these are moving along here. And if I were the case manager, I may say, you know what? Here's all of them. We're missing a status on here. Let's open this case and let's figure out why we're waiting on the attorney, or if we need to change that to something else, if we need to create a task and send it to someone. I can see the last note here. I can see the last phone call with the client here. You can use this, add some filters, and you can figure out exactly what's going on with all of your cases. So among all the cases in the firm, among the thousands of cases, these are the only ones where we're waiting on the attorney. So that's pretty good. And again, we can go through and check and see why isn't there a status for this? Are some of these open that should be closed? These emergency cases, maybe we would start with those. And then you can say, I want to group these cases because these are all open. I want to group them based on their priority. So I want to make sure all the emergency things are getting taken care of first. So let's group those. Here's the emergency ones. Here's these cases. I'm going to give these maybe my first attention. And you can see some of these are already sent to USCIS, so maybe those are not an emergency anymore. And we can go through and change those and stay on top of the caseload. And then you can see ones that are just high, medium, low. You can also group by metastatus. So if you want to get a count of how many things are in each metastatus out of all the cases that are open in the firm, you can do that. And you can see I've got 18 cases waiting on the client, 10 on the attorney, 6 on the law office, 251 on the government. So that's some pretty good numbers right there. And then you know where you can focus your efforts. So the case management board really is a dream come true for the case manager or for the paralegal who's in charge of managing the caseload and making sure that work is getting done, that cases aren't stagnant, that things aren't getting left behind. And it's really, really easy to use. I've seen a number of people who say, oh, well, there's no case management thing I like. I'm just going to go use Monday.com. I'm going to go use a project management tool. And that's fine. To be fair, the idea for this comes from project management tools. But when it's built in to your case management system, boy, you save a lot of time with accuracy and being able to get these reports immediately and to know exactly who needs what done on their case. So it's a pretty compelling case now to be using Prima for the case management board feature, and it lets you track all types of cases. These things like status and metastatus, these are customizable. Priority, those are customizable. And the other nice thing here that we have is case tags. So you have the ability to tag a case with a certain piece of information. So if you want, say you're doing a consult with someone, you're like, oh, this is something I want to look up later or something I want to reach out later. Maybe I'm going to start a case about TPS for Venezuelans or TPS for something else or asylum for this. You can add your unique tag here, and that way later when you're searching through, you can filter through your tags and see where's that case you were dealing with a few weeks ago. All right, so that's how easy it is to use the new case management board in Prima.Law.